Hello, all you amazing makers out there. This is Mrs. Donner, and today we're going to talk about making things. And the first thing we're going to talk about is a book that I read last week to a couple of different classes, and it is called Be a Maker, and it's by Katie Howes. And Katie Howes has a lot of clever ideas about making things. First thing she came up with was just talking about making, and we're going to talk about it right now. Things you can make. If you have Legos, you can make a tower. If you have boxes, you can make a tower. If you have pencil, you can draw a tower. You can make a friend. You can make bread. You can make lunch. You can make a mess. Or you can make a change. Specifically today in the art world, we are going to talk about making blueprints. And basically blueprints, she covers them in the book. Blueprints are a design or a drawing of something that you would like to make. And so I actually looked up blueprints, and I found out that a man named John Herschel invented the process for blueprints in 1842. Now they're not called blueprints anymore. They are called drawings because they aren't blue anymore. But it was kind of the original copier, like the copy machines where you get copies. So that was the original process. And here's a little picture of the blueprint on the front of Be a Maker. So what I did was I went ahead and I made some blueprints that you and I could make here without that process, without drawing a house or something an architect would do. The first thing I did was I drew some on paper with white crayon or oil pastels. And then I took, this would have to be on the white paper. And then I took some blue watercolor paper because oil and wax repel the paint, the watercolor. So the image that you draw comes up. Then I took some blue construction paper. Now you might not have blue construction paper. You can do it on black or green or red if you have a white crayon or a white oil pastel. So I decided that my invention that I wanted to draw a plan up, just to start with, is a robot. I wanted to do a robot. So I did a robot so that it could go around and it could vacuum my house. And of course I know there's a Roomba, but this is actually one that will go up the steps and vacuum the house. Get the dog hair off. I have drawings of things like bikes, and the sky's the limit. You can draw anything you can draw, you could probably make out of Legos if you think about it. So if you don't have any blue paper, again, you can just use white paper and use the oil pastels. So real quickly, we also had a student who decided to do something very creative, and that would be Gabe. And he took a Lego and he printed the Lego in the color of the tower or whatever he was going to paint. I thought that was really, really a good idea. So you can do it that way too. All right, so basically, being a maker just means to make something. And before I leave and end this, I'm going to show you what I drew on this one. And the fun thing about the white oil pastels or the crayons is that when you, like I said, when you go over it with water, it doesn't stick to the actual oil pastel because it repels. So I would encourage you to think outside the box, make something that you've always wanted. It doesn't have to be a robot that vacuums dog hair, but because after all, Roomba already has that patent. But what if you just made something different? So be creative, enjoy the process, and remember, be a maker, and have a great day.